The average adult in Switzerland is worth over $700,000. In Luxembourg, the average household wealth crosses the $1 million mark. There are entire countries where being a millionaire is not a flex, it is just Tuesday. But the data behind these numbers hides something most people completely miss, and by the end of this video you will see wealth in a fundamentally different way. You're watching Wealth Ranked. Number 10. Australia. The land down under has one of the highest median wealth figures on the planet, at around $273,000 per adult. But mean wealth pushes past $650,000. Australia has over 2.2 million millionaires in a country of only 26 million people. That is roughly 1 in 12 adults. The secret is property. Australian real estate has been on an almost uninterrupted bull run for decades. A modest 3-bedroom home in Sydney's eastern suburbs now costs over $3 million. The Australian superannuation system, which mandates employer contributions into retirement accounts, has also created a national pool of over $3.5 trillion. But here is the catch. Many of these paper millionaires could not actually access their wealth without selling the roof over their heads. Rich on paper, cash poor in the wallet. Number 9. Denmark. Denmark consistently ranks among the happiest countries on earth, and it turns out happy people are also wealthy people. Mean wealth per adult is approximately $410,000. Denmark has around 230,000 millionaires. The country taxes income aggressively up to 55.9% at the top bracket, yet somehow still produces enormous wealth. The secret is a welfare state that eliminates catastrophic expenses. Healthcare is free. University is free. When you strip away the financial landmines that bankrupt people in other countries, wealth accumulates quietly and steadily. Danish pension funds are among the best managed in the world, but here is where it gets interesting. There is a cultural concept called janteloven, the law of Jante, which says you should never think you are better than anyone else. Denmark is packed with millionaires who would never dream of telling you they are millionaires. Number 8. New Zealand. With a population of just 5.2 million, New Zealand punches wildly above its weight. Mean wealth sits around $400,000 per adult, and the country has over 300,000 millionaires. Like Australia, property drives the numbers. Auckland's housing market became so overheated that the government literally banned foreign buyers in 2018. A standard house in central Auckland costs over $1 million New Zealand dollars. The country also benefits from a strong agricultural export sector, a booming tech industry, and the post-pandemic millionaire migration effect. Wealthy Americans and Europeans bought New Zealand property as apocalypse insurance during COVID, pushing prices even higher. Peter Thiel, the PayPal co-founder, famously obtained New Zealand citizenship and bought a sprawling lakeside estate in Queenstown. And that is not even the craziest part. More American billionaires own New Zealand bolt holes than any other foreign destination per capita. Number 7. Singapore. This tiny city-state is a wealth magnet. Mean wealth per adult sits at roughly $383,000, but that figure massively undersells the reality. Singapore has over 400,000 millionaires in a population of under 6 million. The country has no capital gains tax, no inheritance tax, and corporate tax rates capped at 17%. It is essentially designed to attract money. 1 in 5 households are millionaire households. Sentosa Cove, a private residential enclave, has homes selling for over $30 million. The car situation alone tells the story. Due to a certificate of entitlement system, owning a basic Toyota Corolla in Singapore costs over $150,000, a country where a Corolla costs as much as a house in some US states. But Singapore's wealth is not just old money or property. It is Southeast Asia's fintech capital. Its startup ecosystem is exploding, and it has positioned itself as the Switzerland of Asia. Number 6. The United States. Yes, the average American is technically wealthy by global standards. Mean wealth per adult is roughly $551,000. The US has over 22 million millionaires, more than any other country on earth. But this is where averages become dangerous. The median wealth, the number where half the population sits above and half below, is only around $93,000. The gap between mean and median is enormous because American wealth is concentrated at the very top. The richest 1% hold over 30% of all wealth. The bottom 50% hold about 2.6%. So when someone says the average American is rich, they are technically correct but practically misleading. A country where Elon Musk and a minimum wage worker in Mississippi are both included in the same average. That said, the sheer volume of millionaires is undeniable, and the US remains the world's primary wealth creation engine through its stock market, tech sector, and entrepreneurial culture. Number 5. Iceland. This volcanic island of 375,000 people has a mean wealth per adult of around $560,000. Almost everyone in Iceland owns property because the government has historically made home ownership accessible. The fishing industry generates enormous export revenue relative to population size. Tourism exploded after 2010, and Icelanders benefited directly. After the 2008 banking crisis, when Iceland's 3 major banks collapsed spectacularly, the country did something radical. Instead of bailing out the banks, they let them fail, jailed the bankers, and rebuilt. By 2015, Iceland's economy was outperforming most of Europe. Median wealth is strong here too, over 200,000 per adult, which means the wealth is more evenly distributed than in many larger economies. Number 4. Belgium. Belgium flies under the radar, but it should not. Mean wealth per adult exceeds $570,000. The country has over 600,000 millionaires. Belgian wealth is driven by property ownership, strong savings rates, and an extremely developed social safety net that prevents downward wealth spirals. Brussels hosts the European Union headquarters and NATO, creating a massive ecosystem of well-paid international workers. Belgian chocolate and beer are famous, but the real money is in pharmaceuticals, chemicals, and diamond trading. Antwerp handles over 80% of the world's rough diamonds by value. That is hundreds of billions flowing through a single Belgian city every year. Number 3. Monaco. The Principality of Monaco is only 2.02 square kilometers, smaller than Central Park, and yet it has the highest density of millionaires on Earth. Over 32% of residents are millionaires. Mean wealth figures are nearly impossible to calculate accurately because Monaco does not charge income tax and financial privacy is paramount. A one-bedroom apartment averages over $5 million. The most expensive penthouse ever listed in Monaco was over $400 million. Monte Carlo's famous casino generates less revenue than you would think because the real money is in the real estate, the yacht berths, and the financial services ecosystem. Monaco is not a country where people get rich. It is a country where rich people go. Number 2. Switzerland. The Swiss are quietly, methodically, absurdly wealthy. Mean wealth per adult is roughly $696,000. Switzerland has over 1.1 million millionaires in a country of 8.8 million. That is 1 in 8 adults. Swiss banking is legendary, but the wealth goes deeper. Switzerland is home to Nestlé, Novartis, Roche, Glencore, and dozens of multinationals. The Swiss franc is one of the strongest currencies on earth. Property in Zurich and Geneva rivals London and New York. The country benefits from political neutrality, low taxes by European standards, and a direct democracy system that gives citizens control over fiscal policy. Swiss median wealth is over $170,000, meaning the wealth is not just concentrated at the top. And number 1, Luxembourg. This tiny country of 660,000 people has mean wealth per adult exceeding over $1 million. Luxembourg has the highest GDP per capita in the world, at over $128,000. It is the administrative heart of European finance. Over 200 banks operate within its borders. The European Investment Bank is headquartered there. Amazon, Skype, and PayPal all have their European headquarters in Luxembourg for tax efficiency reasons. The average salary is over €65,000, among the highest in Europe. Property values have tripled in the past 20 years. Nearly half of the workforce commutes from France, Germany, or Belgium, earning Luxembourg salaries and spending them in countries where a loaf of bread does not cost €6. Luxembourg is proof that if you make your country the place where money flows through, some of it inevitably stays.